They told you it was just a bruise, a fall, an accident. But what if that black eye is actually a mark, a signal, a doorway, and it means they no longer belong to themselves? In part 1, we followed the black trail of bruises that connects popes, presidents, and performers to a ritual few dare to name. But what if we only scratched the surface? Tonight we go deeper. Beyond Aleister Crowley. Beyond the Vril Society. Beyond what you're allowed to see. Because this ritual isn't just about pain. It's about ownership. It's about breaking the will. And rebuilding it into something controllable. They say these bruises are accidental. But what if they're inherited? Passed down like bloodlines. Through secret orders, underground chambers, and generations of silence. This is not about celebrity gossip. This is about the blueprint behind elite power. Trauma. Programming. Initiation. And the black eye is only the beginning. What if the black eye ritual is not just for show, not just a moment of submission, but a heritage, passed from father to son, from mother to daughter, generation after generation? Behind the velvet curtains of the elite, there are families who rule not by politics or fame, but by legacy. They don't join the club. They are born into it. Look closely. Why is it always the same bloodlines that rise to power no matter the century? The same surnames echo through history like shadows. Rothschild, Rockefeller, Bush, presidents, bankers, royals, entertainers. And too many of them have worn the mark, the black eye. Some say it's an accident, but others believe it's a rite, a ritual of loyalty, a brutal confirmation that your blood belongs to something far older than your will. Have you heard of the blood contract? A whispered tale among secret societies, that a soul can be bound not just once but generationally. That once a bloodline is marked, its descendants are no longer entirely free. In ancient Babylon, ritual bruising around the eye was used during spiritual possession rites. In Egypt, the Eye of Horus wasn't just a symbol. It was a tool of awakening or submission. Now picture this. A young politician suddenly rises in power. Days later, a black eye. A famous singer disappears from the spotlight. Returns. Change. More powerful. Unmarked. Who holds the keys to the next generation? And what if the ritual doesn't begin until you're old enough to choose? Or worse, old enough to obey. You don't rise through the ranks unless the blood says yes. And once it says yes, you wear the bruise with pride, or you disappear. They say the mind is like a mirror. Break it once, and the reflection is never the same. But what if that's the point? Behind every black eye seen in public, there may lie 1,000 invisible wounds inflicted not on the body, but on the mind. Welcome to the hidden world of trauma-based programming. A method older than most religions. Refined, perfected, weaponized. Monarch. Theta. Beta. These aren't just words found in conspiracy forums. They are the codes of systems designed to split a person's mind into pieces. Think of the black eye as the branding, the visible part of a ritual that begins with trauma, but ends with control, not just over the victim's actions, but over their thoughts, their memories, their very identity. Monarch programming allegedly uses severe trauma, physical, emotional, ritualistic, to fracture the mind. Victims are often children selected from specific bloodlines. Once broken, they are reshaped. Altars are created. Personalities split. Some are compliant, some seductive, some violent, and all can be triggered with symbols, phrases, or sounds. Butterfly tattoos, mirrors, black and white patterns, repetition, songs, colors. It's everywhere. Because it works. Celebrities display these signs in plain sight. Not because they're free to choose them, but because they're programmed to. That moment on stage when the singer blanks out. That bizarre behavior during interviews. That black eye explained as falling down the stairs. These are not random. These are glitches in the script. The eye isn't just bruised. It's the entry point. The moment when one personality is shut off. And another takes control. Controlled by who? The same hidden network that designed the trauma, engineered the obedience, and manufactured the puppet. In the world of the elite, trauma is not the cost. It's the currency. And the black eye is their most sacred receipt. Deep beneath the surface of society, beneath theaters, palaces, studios, and government buildings, there are rooms that were never meant to be seen. They are not recorded on blueprints. No public map reveals them. And those who enter often forget they were ever there. These are the ritual rooms. Chambers designed not for worship, but for transformation. It is said that in the heart of these spaces reality bends. Time feels different. Pain becomes ritual. An identity shattered. The anatomy of a ritual room. Multiple survivors of elite abuse have described eerily similar chambers. Soundproof walls. Symbols carved directly into stone or tile. Altars, some with restraints. Cameras hidden behind mirrors. Pools of water or basins stained by something darker. And always, the eye watching from above. In every case, the victim becomes both participant and sacrifice. These chambers are not designed randomly. They are architected, often by occult experts and mind control specialists. The geometry of the room, the materials used, the lighting, all contribute to mental disorientation. Specific frequencies are played during rituals. Certain colors are used to induce altered states. Purple and red colors of power, suffering, royalty, and blood. It's not just a room. It's a machine. What happens inside? Trauma. Programming. Sexual initiation. Forced oaths. Blackmail recordings. Sometimes victims are drugged. Sometimes they're not. But always, they are changed. One former whistleblower described it as walking in as a person, leaving as a puppet. The eye. The mark. The silence that follows all begin here. You think these rooms are just in castles or ancient lodges. Think again. Elite hotels. Government bunkers. Private islands. Even some movie sets. The Denver airport. Bohemian Grove. Epstein's Island. Vatican vaults. All are said to contain chambers with the same layout, the same purpose, and the same silence around them. They say once you're initiated in that room, you can never speak of it. Not because you're afraid, but because the version of you that could speak was left behind. Why do so many powerful men, politicians, billionaires, pop stars, even royalty show up in public with one eye bruised, swollen, almost ritualistically marked? Coincidence? Accident? Or initiation? Some say it's the result of violence. But what if it's not just violence but a controlled transformation? Whispers within occult circles speak of the right of the left eye, an ancient symbolic injury meant to break the will, erase identity, and open the soul to submission. The ritual doesn't only hurt the flesh, severs the mind. Mind fracture through pain. Monarch programming survivors often speak of punishment rooms, small dark spaces where the only goal is to fracture identity through repeated trauma. According to multiple testimonies, black eyes are not accidental, they are targets. The soft tissue around the left eye is struck in a precise, controlled way, often while the victim is restrained in a state of sensory overload. These are not isolated rituals. They are engineered ceremonies, reinforced by triggers, symbols, and mantras. The occult significance of the left eye. Ancient Egypt taught us the story of Horus. His left eye, the lunar eye, represented intuition, sacrifice, the hidden. It was ripped out during his battle with Set and later restored. Some believe this story has been hijacked. Modern elites don't seek to heal the eye of Horus. They seek to destroy it again and again. In their hands, the bruised left eye becomes a symbol of dominance. A mark that says, "You belong to us now." Public spectacle, private obedience. So why is it shown publicly? Think about it. These people don't hide their bruises. They show them off on red carpets, interviews, official meetings. Some even smile while wearing their mark. It's a warning and a celebration. To the public, just a random injury. But to those inside the system, a clear signal: he passed. He obeys. This isn't a theory born from paranoia. When multiple unrelated powerful individuals show the same wound in the same place with the same patterns of silence, you don't need confirmation. You just need to ask, who controls the pain? We often think trauma is meant to be forgotten. But in occult circles, trauma is preserved, encoded, reactivated. This is the hidden doctrine of blood memory, the belief that pain and fear can be passed through bloodlines, not just as genes, but as programmed behavior. In elite initiation ceremonies, rituals are never performed just once. They are repeated again and again with precise timing. At age 5, at age 11, at 18. Each stage activating a new layer of obedience. These are not just symbolic actions. They are psychic triggers, like pressing buttons hidden deep inside a human mind. Many survivors of elite programming speak of repeated blackouts, sudden panic attacks, or the sensation of being watched from the inside. Some describe a strange voice, one that only speaks during sleep, repeating numbers, symbols, orders. They call it the inner handler. And that bruised eye? It's not a scar. It's a reset button. The trauma creates a fracture. The repetition seals the command. That's why the black eye appears again and again, generation after generation. In celebrities, in monarchs, in billionaires. Always hidden in plain sight. Ask yourself, what happens when trauma becomes tradition? Who truly benefits from a world where the same pain is passed down? Willingly. Some marks never fade. Because they were never meant to. You've seen the signs. You felt the truth hiding in plain sight. So the question remains. Who gave them the power? And why do they still obey? If this darkness spoke to you, subscribe. Share the knowledge. Expose what they tried to bury. This is the hidden order.